Somebody else's name. Oh, Lord. Real big. I knew one day I would do it real big. What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Amylah Charles, and welcome to the Under the Sun podcast, where we talk about everything under the sun in order to broaden your horizon. And on today's episode, we're going to get to know me, your girl, a little better. Wait a minute. It's the song. I'm gonna love you better. But we gonna remix it. You gonna get to know me better. Okay? So, I want to just hop right into it. So, quick 5 facts about me. 1, I'm a Forbes featured entrepreneur and founder of Curly Crownz Hair Care, a business I founded at age 16, okay? I'm a 3rd year in college, and I am a broadcasting, electronic, communication arts major, okay? I like to write, direct, and talk, okay? I like to be an innovative force for my people, and my desire is to enhance media representation of disenfranchised groups. So, with that being said, I said 5 facts, didn't I? You know what, that don't even matter, okay? 5. Forget I even said that, okay? I didn't even say that, okay? But anyway, let's hop right into a story time. Today's story time is going to be about how my products launched for the first time in a retail store, Glow and Flow Beauty in Hawthorne, guys. It was such a surreal moment to see my product in a retail space for the first time in a community that I grew up in. I grew up a little bit in Inglewood, all over LA. So it was just a moment to be like, wow, I am serving the community I grew up in. I'm serving the community where it all started. I literally used to live in an apartment not too far from where my product made its first retail debut with my mom. So that was so special to have that full circle moment. And but before I get too deep, let me tell you a little bit more about my business if you don't know. Curly Crownz Hair Care is a business I founded in 2020 when COVID and injustice was on the rise. And I really wanted to find a way to serve my community by not only nourishing their souls, but nourishing their crowns. So that's when I came up with Curly Crownz Hair Care. Nourish, embrace, and enhance your opulent crowns. But it's bigger than hair. You better believe it, okay? Because Curly Crownz' higher purpose is to innovate media representation of minorities and help people of color thrive. So I started my business journey with the Los Angeles Urban League Biz Camp. And it was the program was referred to me by my mentor from Top Teens of America. Shout out Ladera Heights chapter, okay? Living in Ladera Heights. You had a landscaper and a housekeeper since you were born. Wait, okay, let me focus. Back to the lecture at hand. Okay, I could be a jukebox all day. But anyway, referred to the program by my mentor, okay? Shout out to Lady Michelle. So during the pandemic, I started doing these business classes. I started building out my business plan, and how I came to want my business to be surrounded, with the topic of hair care was, as a child, I was always a creative child. I was always making crayon rings, Kool-Aid lip gloss. The list goes on. And then I started to make a whipped shea butter, and I started to give it to my family. I started giving it to my cousins, my auntie, just everybody. And my cousin Monty was like, man, Amylah, you should start selling this. And I never really thought too much about it. My mom, she bought me jars later on, but God allowed everything to align. So when my mentor recommended this program to me, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do a hair care business. And during my interview for the program with, shout out to Miss Rhonda, she asked me, so what do you want the name of your business to be? Like, what's the name of your business? And I had nothing in mind. I looked in my jar, and I looked around my room. I said, Curly Crownz. And that's how I came up with the name for Curly Crownz Hair Care. So I started my journey doing business competitions with the Los Angeles Urban League Biz Camp. They partnered with the Network for Teaching Entrepreneurship, which they worked hand in hand in teaching young people all around the world, the rule of thumb for business. So I built out my business plan. Week after week after week during the pandemic, I was going to these business classes, refining my entrepreneurial mindset and building out the plan, turning my vision into reality. And so it was just such a transformative experience, because it showed me no matter how old you are, no matter how young you are, you can do it. You can be everything outside the box people try to put you in. But anyway, let's get to the meat of it, okay? So, walk with me. Picture this. It's my first competition. I'm sitting in that seat. I pitch my business. I'm like, where were you when the world was put on pause and COVID and injustice was on the rise? Well, I was at home thinking of ways I could best serve my community by not only nourishing their crowns, but nourishing their souls. And that's when I came up with Curly Crownz Hair Care. Enhance, embrace, and nourish your opulent crown. So I'm going on and on. I'm pitching. I'm done with the pitch. Mind you, this is virtual, and I've been working on it for the past couple of weeks. Just heavy, hard, heavy. Just going, just working. Okay, the beat almost took me there. But I was working hard, okay? And I pitched, I was done, I said, cool. I did that. Yeah, I did that. So I thought I tore it up, okay? I thought I tore that pitch up. So finally it's time to give the verdict. And I'm sitting there. And I just really felt like I had it in the bag. But they said, first place winner. And they called somebody else's name. Oh, Lord. They called somebody else's name. I wasn't first place. I was so hurt. I had to lean up at that Zoom camera I had to lean up at that camera, girl. Because I was so puzzled because I thought I had that competition in the bag. I was hurt. And like my immediate mindset, it wasn't to give up. It was to figure out how I could elevate my pitch, because I knew this was bigger than hair. I knew that the marathon had to continue, and that's one of my biggest inspirations is Nipsey, and how he just kept pushing and kept going regardless of the obstacles in his way. And just thinking back on all the people in my life that encouraged me to continue to move forward. And so that loss was simply redirection. It was a slingshot pulling me back and propelling me to where I needed to go. So although in that moment I did not win my first business competition, I knew I couldn't stop there. If I would have gave up, I would have never been a Forbes featured entrepreneur. I would have never had my products in retail at age 20. I would have never gone to Wall Street and pitched on the same soil that my ancestors worked on. My ancestors built. I'm my ancestors' wildest dreams. I went from pitching in my room to pitching all over LA, to pitching on Wall Street, to pitching in Austria. If I would have given up, I would never be in this position I am today talking to you right now. So remember this. Be everything outside of the box people try to put you in. Be everything. With that being said, I want to get into a little story time on how it felt to have my products make their first debut in a retail store. When I walked into the room, I was speechless. Like all I could do was bug my eyes. I was like, what? Like, this is something I literally had on my vision board. It was just so crazy. It was something like in the very beginning of the Los Angeles Urban League Biz Camp, they had us make a vision board. And literally on my vision board, the beginning of the marathon was only the things you do for Christ will last. And at the end of the roadmap of like my success, I have my products in a beauty supply in my city. And I remember it being in my 4-year business plan of, launching in a beauty supply, it didn't launch in necessarily the year that I wrote down. But then once I redid my business plan, I said that in 2024, my products would be featured in a beauty supply in LA. And it wasn't really in the forefront of my mind during this year until I got a call from my mentor that I was so blessed to have through it. Shout out to Vermont Slauson and their business program that they have, because I won that business competition too over the summer. But back to the story. So my mentor calls me and she's like, hey, she tells me there's an event coming up in November and that my products could be debuted in a Black-owned beauty supply. Shout out to Glow and Flow. And I'm like, what? Like, God literally came in the 11th hour, okay, November, during the month of November, and blessed me with this tremendous blessing. And my mentor was like, I'll fly you out. You come out here and we'll have your product debuted and you'll just walk into your moment. And so I truly walked into a moment. Like, I felt like I heard the song that I heard in my mind when I walked in there was real big, real big. One day I would do it real big, real-ish. You know, that's the song that was playing in my mind. And I could also think about Victoria Monet's song Moment, and just walking in there and just seeing something I've worked so hard on, seeing something that I've had sleepless nights over and pitched hours after hour. I tell you, back to back, I was working on this business, simultaneously answering emails on the side while I'm in class, in the middle of parties, trying to make business moves, leaving class early, sacrificing just different things in my life so that I could make sure I could build this business, because to me it was bigger than hair, wanting to bring equity to the hair care industry and provide products for men and women and help them, you know, embrace and enhance and nourish their crown. So when I walked in there, I was just so speechless, and all I could do was thank God and thank my support system, because those are all the components that came into play. So when I walked into there, I was just so amazed and so grateful. My family, shout out to my family for coming and supporting me and just showing out. I'm gonna put a couple pictures, up so that you guys can see it. But my family really came and showed up and showed out. Shout out to all my cousins. Shout out to all my aunties and everybody that showed up, my grandma, and just everybody that helped me really feel loved in that space. And I just feel so blessed to see that I have such an amazing support system. And shout out to the owners of Glow and Flow Beauty, and shout out to Melissa Hibbert, who really helped me along this journey. And I wouldn't want to have my first retail debut with anybody else but Glow and Flow Beauty. I just love what they stand for, and just so amazing. To talk in real time with my customers and see how much joy they have from seeing a product that can meet their needs and seeing such an innovative product. It was just so amazing. And I'm going to insert, a little audio clip of me during the event. So I'm going to just drop
amazing. Look at my picture. Oh my God. This is crazy. It's organized so nicely.
Beautiful.
So, yep, that was me addressing everybody that was at the event. It was so amazing, and my heart is so full. So Curly Crownz Hair Care is not only available on our website, curlycrownshaircare.com, but it is also available at Glow and Flow Beauty in Hawthorne. Oh, I am so grateful. So grateful. But with that being said, we're going to end today's podcast of Under the Sun podcast. And I hope you tune in for another episode. I hope you were able to get to know a little bit more about me. You're gonna know me better. But stay tuned for our next episode, because our next episode, we're going to be talking about some spicy things. Okay? So, bye.